Here in New York City and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, Bucks, Celtics. Tatum against Giannis. Two superstars throwing blows like a heavyweight fight. No, that's not what it was. It was Grant Williams. Grant Williams taking over the game, winning the series almost single-handedly in Boston. What a game from Grant Williams.
To the East, my brother, to the East. As the conference turns, so does the NBA. And by the way, shout to Grant Williams knocking down threes on a big stage. In the first half, I saw him get going. And before you know it, in the second half, he continued that. I also saw that White's minutes was going to be limited because he was struggling in the first half. He was 0 for 7. Enter Peyton Pritchard, who also played big. Now, here's some math for you, David Jacoby.
I'm listening.
Brown and Tatum combined for 42 points. Pritchard and Williams combined for 41. That was the difference. In Game 7.
And Williams didn't even start hot. Like, Williams did not start hot.
At all. And by the way, the beauty of this year's NBA, now think about it. I believe 4 of the top 5 candidates for MVP are now eliminated from the playoffs. Right? And so what does that mean in a league where you still have LeBron, Steph, Kawhi, KD, who weren't in the MVP conversation for various reasons, whether it's their team record or injury? It shows you that the young stars have officially ascended. And one that I believe that we didn't ignore, but made sure that we paid attention to this time around is Jayson Tatum. Because this ain't his first time in the conference finals. See, when you look at, like, I believe they made it now 4 of the last 5 years.
4 of the last 6, I believe.
Regardless of, yep, and so they've gone through Kyrie at the point, Kemba, Dennis Schroeder, and then they found love in Marcus Smart. Are you old enough to remember when people were saying they should break up Brown and Tatum?
Not on this program.
Okay, never. And I was standing in Boston and I told the Celtics faithful, that would be the dumbest thing they did in the history of their franchise. And this was at a time when people was questioning Ime Udoka, who, by the way, we had on this show, and we made sure to tell you that he was going to be just fine. He was going to get this team together to where Grant Williams can lead them in scoring in the Game 7 on their home floor because they took the number 2 seed. Remember when people were looking at the play-in scenario and trying to figure if they were going to not play against the Nets? How about Jayson Tatum just lifted his team versus KD and Giannis to get them to the conference finals? You see what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate how he's ascended. And this is one of the things I love about this game the most. How he can shoot off both dribbles. Like, he can shoot accurate after dribbling with either hand. Sometimes when a person's going to pull up, they do a hezzy with their right or do a hezzy with their left and pull up. But he's the kind of guy that'll hit you with a strong left hand dribble, back you up from 3 and knock it, and then go crossover, strong right hand dribble from 3 and knock it. Like, that's a special offensive trait. And so now to see him go against that Heat defense that was swarming in the last couple of series, I'm really excited. So very excited. Guess what? I'm in Miami right now.
Oh, yeah, the
You know
Celtics, they had a 3:30 game yesterday. They're going right to Miami.
No doubt.
And that Heat defense and Jimmy Butler will be waiting. Jimmy Butler has been on a tear these playoffs. The Heat defense just looked at Trae Young and made him look bad. Looked at James Harden, made him look bad except for one game. This Heat defense is so good. What do you expect to see from them against this Celtics team?
So you hear the term a lot by Bill Belichick. He didn't make it up, kind of like Rasheed Wallace didn't make up ball, don't lie. But like making the other team play left-handed. So what does that mean? I'm a lefty, right? It was easier against the Hawks and/or against James Harden because of their styles and how those teams run their offenses. Trae Young was just getting swarmed, and he really didn't have like the perimeter support against a defense like that. For James Harden, they started 0-2, they got Embiid back. He played terrific in one game, but his productivity, his aggression, and his enthusiasm wasn't just there. It was not there. The Heat gonna face a different team in this Boston Celtics, because everything we say about Heat culture and their toughness and paying attention to detail, that's exactly what the Celtics have been since January 1st. They have the Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart. They brought back Al Horford, who's playing quality minutes for them up front. They've developed their roster. Robert Williams is going to continue to hopefully get healthy and play quality minutes. So this is going to be a terrific series.
And I'm glad you bring up the toughness part and the culture part, because those were two of the things that we criticized the Celtics for last year and the year before and at the beginning of this year, frankly. And those things have changed under the tutelage of Ime Udoka. This is a huge win for the Celtics. And again, another huge matchup in Miami. Jalen, I think I got to fly down there. I got to fly down there for tomorrow.
Yes,
I got to fly down there. I'll be down there tomorrow in Miami. And there's an off day in between the two games, right? I think I'm going to stay down there for game 2, too. This is going to be so much fun to watch. I will be in the building doing hoop streams. Jalen will be in the building doing NBA Countdown, and we will continue doing J&J while we're down there. And right now on ESPN, welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Every single day on the program, we recognize another day that Brittany Griner is still detained in Russia. Here we are again.
88 days is way too long. Sending well wishes to her and a speedy return to the United States.
Jalen, we didn't have a show on Friday, and you were in Atlanta. What exactly were you doing in Georgia, sir?
Georgia! Congratulations to my daughter, Queen Mariah Rose. She graduated on Friday, Jacoby. And it takes a village. And it was so very gratifying to see her super mom, Mari, her big brother and bodyguard, Ladarius, her little sissy, Gracie, really just enjoy and celebrate this amazing accomplishment for the family. I'm extremely proud of her. And as you know, the sky's the limit. I'm going to get her to come back on the show during these playoffs for sure.
Please do make sure you follow her on social. She's extremely talented, and she's going to be part of sports media for a long time. Congratulations, Mariah. Jalen, we watched 2 Game 7s on the hardwood, but during that blowout, I started changing the channels. There were a couple of Game 7s on the ice. One, the New York Rangers. You know I love to jump on a bandwagon. And Panarin got the goal in overtime of Game 7 at home to send them on. And then Gaudreau did it for the Calgary Flames. Big shout to them. You know I jump on the hockey right around this time of year.
Many Game 7s,
right around
big Game 7s. That'll be a cold jersey to get. Those will be cold jerseys to cop.
We haven't discussed the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, who are waiting for Luka Doncic in the Western Conference Finals. What do you think this break has done for them?
I think it gave them a chance to, first off, just re-energize as a team. They're going to get their head coach, Steve Kerr, back. The Splash Brothers, you know, they ain't the youngest backcourt in the league. It was great to see Game 6 Clay show up, but it was great to see Draymond be dominant. Getting assists, getting boards, locking down on defense, getting a couple of buckets. Like, he's the anchor to what they do. And shout to Looney, just grabbing boards. Looney Chamberlain, out there just grabbing every rebound. You know what I'm saying? He needs time to rest. Hopefully they get Gary Payton II back, and I want to see Poole, in particular, defensively play a lot better in the next series.
I mean, based on what we just saw, based on what we just saw in Phoenix, the answer is nobody. But who do they have that can slow down Luka Doncic?
See, Luka's entered that. He's like a perimeter version of Giannis. Like, nobody's stopping him. It's a make or a miss, literally, when you're on Luka, and he's making his teammates better. Let's see if Dinwiddie and Brunson can keep up their level of play. It's going to be a great Western Conference final.
We will be in Miami for the Eastern Conference Finals starting tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, ESPN2, 4 p.m.